Banker Sam and Molly are a deeply in love couple, perfectly matched for one another. Recently, with the help of their friend and coworker Carl, they have moved into a loft in Manhattan. One night, as they return from the theater, a mugger tries to steal Sam's wallet. In the ensuing struggle, the mugger's gun goes off, fatally wounding Sam. He dies in Molly's arms while the mugger escapes. Sam finds himself suddenly dead and becomes a ghost. Unable to move on to the afterlife, he remains bound to the physical world, clinging to his love for Molly. He stays close to her, but as a ghost, he can no longer interact with the physical world. The mugger, unsatisfied with simply separating the couple, breaks into Molly's apartment, searching for something. Sam, helpless as a ghost, tries to stop him, but his attacks have no effect. However, he manages to frighten a cat into scratching the mugger's face. Injured, the mugger flees the apartment. Determined to uncover the truth, Sam follows the mugger to a subway train. There, he encounters another ghost who, unlike most others, can manipulate physical objects. This ghost attacks Sam, demonstrating an ability that Sam does not yet possess.
Stay out! This is mine!
Continuing to trail the mugger, Sam discovers his name is Willie Lopez. He learns that Willie was hired by someone to steal his wallet and is now trying to obtain something from Molly as well.
You hear me? Stay away from her!
On his way back from Willie's apartment, Sam encounters Oda Mae Brown, a fraudulent psychic medium.
What a crock of shit.
Who is that?
Who? You can hear me?
To his surprise, Oda Mae can hear him, making her his only means of communication with the living world. Sam asks Oda Mae to warn Molly that she is in danger. Initially, Oda Mae refuses to help, dismissing Sam's pleas. However, after Sam keeps her awake by loudly singing, "I am Henry VIII, I am," she reluctantly agrees to speak to Molly. When Oda Mae finally meets Molly, she tries to convince her of the danger. Molly, skeptical about the existence of ghosts and the afterlife, struggles to believe her. Oda Mae then relays something Sam had told her.
Ditto, Taylor, ditto.
That was ditto. Ditto.
That whenever Molly said she loved him, Sam would reply with ditto. This personal detail begins to convince Molly that Oda Mae might be telling the truth. Following Sam's instructions, Oda Mae tells Molly that the person who attacked and robbed them is Willie Lopez and provides his address. She warns Molly that she is in immediate danger and advises her to report to the police and take necessary precautions. Molly shares this information with Carl, but he dismisses her concerns, claiming they lack credibility. Meanwhile, Sam secretly follows Carl and discovers a shocking truth. Carl is the one who hired Willie to steal Sam's wallet. Carl is desperate to launder $4 million in drug money through a fake account under the name Rita Miller for his criminal employers. Carl orders Willie to eliminate Oda Mae, fearing she knows too much, and decides to retrieve Sam's book of bank passwords himself. He takes the key to Sam's apartment, which Willie had stolen, and leaves. On the other hand, Molly, troubled by what the psychic lady told her, goes to the police. Unfortunately, the police dismiss her claims. Meanwhile, Carl sneaks into Molly's apartment and finds the passwords he needs. That same night, Carl visits Molly and deliberately spills coffee on his shirt before removing it. He then tries to seduce Molly, taking advantage of her loneliness and vulnerability. Sam, who is always by Molly's side, refuses to let Carl manipulate her. Though he cannot physically harm Carl, Sam disrupts the moment by knocking over a picture frame, startling both Carl and Molly. Regaining her composure, Molly senses something is wrong and forces Carl to leave her apartment, preventing his attempt to seduce her. Sam, determined to learn how to interact with the physical world, recalls the ghost from the subway who attacked him earlier. He revisits the subway station to seek the ghost's help.
Get off! No!
Sam asks the subway ghost to teach him how to manipulate physical objects, and after persistent effort and practice under the ghost's guidance, Sam finally masters the ability to touch and move objects like a living person. Meanwhile, Willie attempts to kill Oda Mae to cover up his crimes but fails. Sam intervenes and saves Oda Mae. He then asks her for one final favor, promising never to bother her again. Sam needs Oda Mae to impersonate Rita Miller and help withdraw the drug money from Carl's account. As planned, Oda Mae successfully withdraws the $4 million and closes the Rita Miller account. However, at the bank, Molly happens to see Oda Mae withdrawing the money and becomes suspicious. Despite this, Sam distracts Molly, allowing Oda Mae to escape. Now in possession of $4 million, Oda Mae initially feels ecstatic, but quickly ends up donating all the money to charity after relentless pressure from Sam.
Bless you, child.
On the other side, Carl is in a panic after discovering that the account has been closed and the money is gone. Facing threats from his criminal employers, Carl becomes increasingly paranoid and unstable, especially as Sam begins to haunt and frighten him further.
Who's doing that?
That same night, Carl visits Molly under the pretense of investigating the missing money. Unaware of Carl's true intentions, Molly tells him about seeing Oda Mae at the bank using the name Rita Miller. While Molly is upstairs, Sam continues to haunt Carl, who becomes increasingly unhinged. Enraged, Carl threatens Sam, saying he will harm Molly unless the missing money is returned by 11 p.m. After delivering this ultimatum, Carl leaves Molly's apartment. Later that night, Carl and Willie go to Oda Mae's apartment to steal the money. However, thanks to Sam's prior warning, Oda Mae and her sisters manage to escape just in time. Sam confronts Willie, terrifying him to the point where Willie flees into the street in a panic. Tragically, Willie is struck by an oncoming car and dies instantly. As Willie's soul separates from his body, shadowy figures emerge to drag him into the darkness, a grim fate for his misdeeds. Sam and Oda Mae rush to Molly's apartment to warn her that Carl will arrive soon and intends to harm her. Oda Mae urge her to call the police and take precautions to protect herself. However, Molly remains skeptical of Oda Mae and her warnings, unsure of what to believe. Sam uses his ability to manipulate physical objects and levitates a penny, making it float through the air and land on Molly's hand. This act convinces Molly that Sam is truly present with her as a soul. Finally, she believes in his presence. Molly quickly calls the police to come to her apartment, while Oda Mae allows Sam's soul to enter her body. Through this connection, Sam and Molly share a heartfelt, intimate moment, allowing them to reconnect as if they were together in life. However, their brief reunion is interrupted when Carl arrives. Sam's soul is forced to leave Oda Mae's body due to the strain, and the two women flee upstairs to hide from Carl, who breaks down the apartment door with a gun and enters. Exhausted from his recent possession of Oda Mae, Sam is temporarily too weak to confront Carl. Meanwhile, Carl corners Molly and Oda Mae and uses his gun to threaten them, demanding to know where the stolen $4 million is hidden. As Sam regains his strength, he attempts to intervene. Carl grabs Molly and uses her as a hostage, aiming the gun at her neck and threatening to kill her if the money is not returned immediately. Ignoring Carl's threats, Sam uses his ability to disarm him by flinging the gun across the room. Carl picks up the gun and attempts to capture Molly again, but Molly manages to escape to safety just in time. With his strength fully restored, Sam relentlessly haunts and attacks Carl, causing him to panic. In a desperate attempt to fight back, Carl tries to swing a suspended metal hook towards Sam's presence. However, the hook unexpectedly swings back, shattering a nearby window. A large shard of glass falls and impales Carl, killing him instantly. Like Willie, Carl's soul separates from his body after death. He briefly sees Sam one last time, but before he can do anything, shadowy, dark figures emerge. They grab Carl's soul and drag him away into the darkness, condemning him for his actions. Afterward, while Molly and Oda Mae are recovering, a beam of radiant light descends on Sam, signaling that his time on Earth is over. For the first time, both Molly and Oda Mae are able to see Sam's soul clearly. Sam expresses his gratitude to Oda Mae for her help and says his heartfelt goodbye to Molly. He reassures her of his eternal love before stepping into the light. Slowly, Sam disappears into the beam of light, finally finding peace and leaving the physical world behind.